If you're listening to this, then that means that I've finally had the courage to make and post this because, if any of you know, I don't like talking about my mental health on my channel because, I kind of have that as a place for just, the projects and stuff that I do, but, I mean, I basically what I'm trying to get at, you could probably, whatever I titled this, is just my mental health over the years has not been good. And don't get me wrong, I can fake a smile and seem like everything is okay and pretend like nothing's gonna go wrong, but oftentimes it's harder to do that than you may think because when you live with something as bad as depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, all that, it's not that easy just to, you know, think everything's okay and then just have it be okay. And believe me, I've tried, I've been to therapy, I've talked to friends, and don't get me wrong, they do the best that they can, and I appreciate all of it. But sometimes just things don't always work out. And you start to think, hey, what's really the purpose of life? Because if you think about the question a little too hard, I don't really think we're meant to have a purpose. And one might bring up life is what you make of it. And believe me, I really try. I really do try to find creative things to do. But oftentimes, as soon as they're over, life goes back to the almost meaningless depression state that I am usually in. I've had constant med changes, everything you can think of. Nothing works for me. It may change it for a little bit, but it usually doesn't have a long lasting effect. And, sure, you may think, oh, they're really excited about some of the projects they have, and of course I am. YouTube is a thing that I enjoy doing. But, you can only do something so much to the point where you feel like, is there even any point to this anymore? And this isn't to say that I'm quitting YouTube or anything, because that's 100% not the case. I've just been having a serious mental battle, and I just don't know what to do anymore. Because my friends will try their very best to cheer me up and try to distract me, and believe me, if any of you are listening, I appreciate every second of it. But in my mind, I always know nothing's gonna ever be fully okay. And like see, I'm stumbling over my own words because I'm not gonna cut any of this out because this is genuinely me, off camera. And that's kind of the sad thing, because when I'm on my own, I'm just always like this. I'm depressed. I don't know what to do with myself. No matter what I do, I always resort back to this state of just feeling lost in the world, no purpose. And people can try to convince me all they want, and sometimes it almost works, but sometimes you kind of just have to fake an answer, fake a smile for people to stop worrying. And that's oftentimes what I do, because I don't like confrontation. That's probably not the right word, but I don't like burdening other people with my problems. And any of my friends can be like, no, 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 it's okay. That's what we're here for. Yes, I know that's what you think, but I should not have to burden you with my problems. That's not fair. And nothing, I don't know, just I know you guys don't think it's a problem for you, and it probably isn't, but for me, it makes me feel worse when I have to make others distract me or deal with depression, and that shouldn't be your job to do. That's something that I need to deal with. But it's really not that easy, because oftentimes I fake how I'm feeling so no one worries about me. And I don't like people worrying about me. It's bittersweet in the end because, like, oh, like, if you're worrying about me, then that means you're taking time away from yourself where you could be doing something cool with your life, and instead you gotta worry about your shitty, depressed friend that can't even fend for themselves half the time. Like, y'all shouldn't have to do that. And it's just like, I don't know what to do with life anymore. Like, I always feel like there's stuff I can do, and a lot of the times there is stuff I can do, but like I said, it always just resorts back to the feeling of loneliness and being lost. And mental health is not something that, like, bad mental health isn't something that just permanently goes away. Depression is not curable. Sure, we can take meds for it to help better cope with it, but it's not curable. Because you could be having the greatest day of your life, and then all of a sudden, you just start feeling sad. That's what depression does to you. My whole family, like, suffers from depression. So, like, of course I got it too. I mean, it's no one else's fault I have depression. It's just, like, a genetic gene, I guess. Like, anyone can feel sad, but there's a difference between sad and depressed. There's even been a few times lately where I've been, like, very suicidal, but I don't feel like telling anyone because then they're just gonna worry even more. I always say there's a difference between feeling suicidal and actually having a plan to go kill yourself. A lot of times I don't have that plan. But it gets harder and harder to keep going through life when you just feel like there's nothing even there for you to do. And if you're seeing this, I don't even, or like if you're hearing this, I don't even know how long I'm going to keep this video up for, because like I said, I don't really want people to worry about me, but like, this is the thing that I needed to do to help myself, to just be out there. I'm really struggling, and it's hard because of course I got my own personal shit going on that I don't need to burden like YouTube viewers or anyone with, because you know that's kind of my business and stuff. And like, just in general, like, I have all these cool ideas for stuff I want to do, but then half the time because of my depression I end up not doing them because, like, oh, I think it's impossible to do this or that, and there's too many things that could go wrong, instead of just actually trying to do it and just adapting. Like, the smallest setback will make me want to just abandon the entire thing. Like, we could be almost fully done filming something, and then, like, the smallest inconvenience to me will happen, and that sets my depression and anxiety down a spiral to the point where I'll be like, oh, none of this was even worth it at all. Like, I hate feeling like that, but I don't have a choice anymore. I don't want to drag this on very long. I just want to say, like, if you're hearing this, I mean, if my content's a little, like, lackluster or kind of spaced out, this is kind of why. And if you're one of my friends listening to this, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Yeah, I'll be fine.